Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online, and this will be my first Friday Night 9 Ball of 2022. I took a couple of weeks off to recover from whatever it was I had. I'm feeling better now, and we've got a full house tonight. We've got, there was 14 in when I came online there, and then suddenly I had a pop-up for NVIDIA driver update, so I thought I'll get that done. So we've done the update. Good evening to Slim. And quick look to see who's in. Oh, bloody lost it. I had it at the turn. There we go. Right, so we've got 16 in: Ice Age, Bankster, Brain Fallout, Chimpy, Houdini, John Boo, Christian, Larry, Slim, is that Rez, Simank, Spectre Don, Stefan, Tommy, Valendern, and Wanwa. So full house. The VP4 news is, good evening to Tommy, and the news is, and Chimpy hasn't changed his name on Twitch, the news is that the Cowboy ratings have been reset. I don't know whether the straight pool ones have been done. I don't know whether he'll do that because of this tournament that's coming up. But we have the straight pool World Championships. They're due in January the 26th, which is actually quite good because when the tournament starts, I've got a week off in February. I think it's maybe the second week in February that I've got off. So that'll be a full week where I'll be able to get matches whatever time they're at. So I had a check at my holidays that I've got remaining. So I've definitely got a week off in February. I'm not 100% certain whether it's the first or the second week, but it'll be good. It'll allow me to get some of those matches. I've added the last year's final on my homepage on YouTube on the channel. So if anybody didn't see last year's final, you need to watch it. I mean, it's 4 hours and more, but Larry came oh so close. That's the closest he's been, I think, in recent years to winning one of these big tournaments. So the rooms are up. We've got Brain Fallout against Rez, Chimpy, and Wanwa. I think that's the match we're going to get and watch. That could be quite interesting, depending on what the handicap will be. We've got Houdini and Bankster, Larry and Christian, Slim against Tommy, Stefan and John Boo, Valendern against Spectre Dawn, and Simanx and Ice Age. But I'm going to see this this Chimpy match with Wanwa, assuming he's here. Right, let me just do a quick change of the cloth to blue. Welcome everybody, and a belated Happy New Year to anybody who I haven't seen since the final of the last big tournament. So here we go with the lag. Chimpy's at the bottom of the screen as we look. And a reminder to anybody who happens to be a new viewer, I've actually got 509 subscribers now. I've had 3 subscribers even when I wasn't streaming, so that's good news. That's on YouTube, that is. Like I say, anybody who's on Twitch, it doesn't bother me if you subscribe to me in Twitch, but please subscribe to me in YouTube. Whether you watch on YouTube is immaterial. I need all the subscribers I can get on YouTube. So, Chimpy won the lag. He's broke off. Now, the first question of the night is, with you guys in here, good evening to Cobra, Spectre, Mark. The first question to ask you guys is, bearing in mind that a lot of the guys over the years have been asking for certain games to be put into Virtual Pool 4, my question is, why is it, out of all the games that people have requested, the most popular one that I know that has been requested over the years was Killer. So why did Steve decide to put in Filipino rotation? That's my question. And the next question after that is who the hell's been playing it since he put it into the game? Because I've not seen anybody playing it. Maybe you guys can come up with a better idea. Because that's the thing that puzzled me. You know, why put a game in that nobody's really mentioned? I think Steve's got the notion that this is an interesting game that the Filipinos play, but I've not seen any. I can't find a video on YouTube. I've looked, and maybe I didn't look hard enough, but I couldn't find anything where there's actually somebody playing the game. That's going to scratch. But anyway, so it looks like Keller's been put in the back burner. So, just a quick reminder as well, it is a money ball handicapping tournament. This is a scratch match though. Chimpy with ball in hand. Let's check my little doodle's working. And I'm missing the snooker tonight. I can't remember, I don't know who's on, but pardon me, I would have liked to have seen the snooker. I was watching it the other night there, and I had to go to bed because I was back at work this morning. And I missed the end of the bloody John Higgins Mark Williams match. We've got this straight pool Virtual World Championship coming up next. I've got a suggestion as to what the next one should be after the straight pool, and I think it should be black ball, because I don't think we've had a toy table tournament like that on the pub table, and we've certainly, as far as I can recollect, we've not had a big championship on the British pub table, so I think it should be black ball. That would be my suggestion. So Chimpy, from the scratch, from 1-watt, wins the first rack, and of course it's winner breaks this tournament. Dry break, and one we're with, well, an easy starter, but no chance of this 3-ball. He's going to have to play the combo down the rail on that 5. So this is a dead weight shot. You've just got to roll this 3-ball onto the 5. You don't slam it. You have to give the 5 every chance to go in. And at the same time, you don't hit it too hard that the 3-ball's going to escape. You've got to keep the 3-ball in the game. Well, he's done exactly what I said he shouldn't have done. And what's more, he's left a cut in the 3. Is it not on YouTube? It should be. Everything was set up for YouTube. Well, yeah, it's on YouTube because Spectre's watching it on YouTube. Spectre's there. He's up the top of the chat. He's on YouTube. Everything was working okay my side because I tested it earlier on just to make sure that all the links were still going to the right places as far as YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and on VK, the Russian Facebook. But I think everything's going fine. Yeah, there you go. Tommy's there as well. Now Chimpy's going to be just squeezing past the 6-ball, and he hasn't really hit it, but he's still got a cut. And the problem now is he's more than likely going to hit the 8-ball, and he might not be sitting too sweet on this 7. Well, he's missed it. He's missed the 8. And now, well, that's dead on the centre line, that 7 ball, so it's certainly cuttable. And there's plenty of room to go up the table and back into the middle of the table for the 8. We're just dragging off this 7. Try and kill the pace on it a bit as well. No, as well, I don't know why he didn't cut it. I mean, to me, the obvious thing to do was to cut that ball, let the cue ball run. You've got all the room in the world to get on the 8 ball. I don't know why he didn't do that. But anyway, one has been handed a lifeline, and he's going to have to thin cut this 8, and he's going to have to watch the cue ball. Maybe a wee bit of English on it. Again, didn't really take his time and set himself up there, and that's him going to lose the second rack, sorry. Well, this just needs to be nursemaided along the rail, so the cue ball doesn't get a head of steam on it. Just got to let it run in. Well, he's going to run past the 9. And one needs to just get settled for a particular shot, take a wee bit more time and deliberation over it. 2-0 down. Well, Mark, you know about the Scottish diet being one of the worst in the world. Let me tell you what I did today when I got home. I got home from work and I was starving. And I had to go to the post office, not the post office, the local Spar, to pay a bill. And then I had to go and pay another bill at another place. And when I come out the other place, the local baker's is just like 3 doors down. And Browning's, the bakers, famous for the world famous Kelly pie, and I was starving, but I thought, no, I don't want a Kelly pie. I thought I'll have a rolling mince, and I said, and then I said to myself, no, I won't have a rolling mince. I'll have 2 rolls and mince. And then I got in the door, went to the counter. And the girl said, yeah, can I help you? I says, look, I'm starving. Give me 3 rolls and mince. With brown sauce on it. And that's what I had. And I'll tell you, you want to hear the noises when I get home. I fired them onto the passenger seat of the car, flew home, got the kettle on, and before the kettle was boiled, I'd already devoured 2 of them. But the noises, I mean, these were orgasmic noises as I was eating these rolls. Absolutely delicious, especially when you're starving. Good evening to Simon Lacey. So anyway, that's what I had for lunch when I got home. 3 rolls and mince, cannot beat it, with brown sauce on them. Yeah. Yeah, mince beef, carrots, onions, and then dolloped onto a buttered roll with brown sauce on the top. You cannot beat it. It's heaven and earth. You might die. You might have taken 2 years off your lifespan, but I'll tell you something, it's worth the risk. So that's what I had. And I'll tell you what's even worse and even more embarrassing. When I ate the 3rd one, I'm sitting there and I'm going, you know what, I could have ate 4 of these. I could have really pigged out. Well, anyway, that's enough about my diet. And another blatant mistake by Wanwa. Gives ball in hand to Chimpy, already with a 2-0 lead. Everything on. Yeah, the Morrisons. When I used to do the shopping in Morrisons in Kilmarnock, they had a good restaurant, and they used to do good breakfast. I remember that. But I'll tell you, if you've never had a rolling mince, that's what you want to get. And I'll tell you, you know what else Brownings do? They do for bridies, but they also do steak bridies. So this is like the steak mixture with gravy that you would get in a Scottish steak pie, a traditional steak pie, but they do it in a big bridie. I mean, this thing is half the size of a dinner plate. You know, it's like half a circle. And last week I had 2 of them. I mean, all because it says on the little cardboard box that they put it in, it says, bet you can't eat 2. Well, I always have 2. But they do the traditional forfar bridie, but they also do a steak bridie, and you cannot beat them. They are beautiful. Well, Chimpy getting handed it in a plate here. One needs to get the finger out, get the act together. Well, that went in off the far jaw. Now, you can go forward and around the corner and back out. That's the safest route here. Gives you plenty of room on the right hand side to get on this 9-ball. And he's played a draw shot for some reason. He could have just went forward and around. But either way, it's going to be 3-0. You know, the one thing I didn't do after I updated that driver, I never restarted the PC. The ball's running a little bit jerky for me. Maybe that's what I should have done. Seven ball in. 5-ball hanging, 1-ball combo onto the 5, and a 2-9, and this is going to be a quick 4-0. 2-9 combo on the side, 4-zip. Who's playing in the snooker tonight? Somebody remind me. It's already started. We'll be into the first frame. Was what? I am. Well, the Brownings I get mine out is the one in Dean Street, but there's a Brownings at the bottom of the town as well. I think there's certainly 2 in the town. Selby Hawkins, aye. Well, you know, on paper Selby should walk that, but that's. I mean, Hawkins is due to get a decent run in a tournament. He's been crap in the last one I saw him in. He could really only get better. Oh, aye. I mean, we've had. That's a bad one. Yeah, the Browning rolls. The Browning rolls, they're supplied into Tesco as well, and plus they do the Browning. What do you call them? Sort of little toffee tart things that they do. We've got them up in our big store in Glasgow. You get the well-fired rolls. There's another thing the English probably don't have. Up here in Scotland, we've got normal, what you'd call a normal roll that you would buy in a packet of 6, say from Tesco's. But us Scots, there's quite a few of us, and I'm one included, who prefer a roll but well fired, where it's been left in the oven until it's sort of torched black on top. You know, not a light tan roll. This thing's pretty much torched black. So when you have it with like square sausage and brown sauce, you get that sort of bitterness of the sort of burntness in the top of the bread roll. Oh, you can't beat that either. These are delicacies you only get in Scotland. Yeah, pretty much burnt on top. That we call it well fired up here. So like, when I was in Brownings today, get my rolls and mince, a guy walked in and he said to the lassie behind the counter, he says, "Can you give me a roll and sausage with onions, well fired?" And the lassie's got like 24 of them sitting there, all stuck together straight out the oven, and these things are black on top. Well, there's a quick result through it. Simanx against Ice Age. Ice Age wins 7-1. And this is going to be a worse result than that if one cannot string these together. Now let's have a look at this 7 ball. That goes. He's dead straight in the 6. So doesn't want to be doing anything elaborate. Well, this has got to go across the table twice and he's got to avoid the scratch. See, it's worth coming to Scotland, Mark, just to actually, well, he's gone around the 3 rails, but that's letting it run, and that's going to go headlong. That's what I say about letting it run. He should have went across the table twice. That's the safest route. Yeah, it's worth coming to Scotland, Mark, just to actually get proper food that kills you, and you actually enjoy it. That's what you should be doing. But, I mean, a proper Forfar Friday is, I remember going to a Celtic game when we used to go in the supporters bus and we were going to Aberdeen. And the guy that ran the bus, his tradition was that we always stopped off in Forfar because he always wanted to get a stack of Bridies and he'd put them up in the luggage rack to go home with them. So I thought, right, I fancy one of these. I mean, a proper Forfar Bridie is bloody huge. I mean, it's more than half a dinner plate. I mean, that fills you. That's a proper meal. Keep talking about food. Well, one fell into the trap there. Didn't want to do it the simple way. Cut the ball, let the cue ball run across the table twice, but decided to let the cue ball run around the corner and all around the table, and it's going to crack to a pocket at some point, and it's now 5-0. The architect in his own downfall here, I'm afraid. When there's simple ways of doing things, that's what you should be doing. Don't try to be a hero, don't try to be spectacular, you're asking for trouble. But again, these balls are all there, there's not a problem ball on the table. And plenty of room to get up the line in the middle. He's going to hook himself. I mean, he had to come up the middle of the table. And again, a very poor shot by Wanwa. I don't care how big his email or letter is going to be, but that's poor if he watches this stream. Well, he's tried to lock up the 6 ball. Let's have a quick look. And he's not really achieved that either, because that 6 ball will go past 8. Provided you get yourself good on it. Well, he must be on something, because he's certainly not screwing the head on and playing the game properly. I mean, there's simple things you can do, and one wasn't doing any of them. I mean, the obvious thing with that shot he had there was get the cue ball up the middle of the table. So when you want to get it up the middle of the table, you have to impart the right English on that cue ball when it hits the rail, so that you deflect the line that the cue ball is going to take. So when it hits the rail, it comes that way. You don't just cut it and it goes that way when there's 2 balls down here for you to hook yourself behind. Well, the 6 ball definitely doesn't go now. And again, the simple shot here is just roll the 3 in and use... Oh, that's just crazy. It's absolutely stupidity doing that. I mean, again, what you do there is you roll the 3 ball in and you let the cue ball run over to here. The 5 ball is here, and you smack the 5 ball in and you split the 6 and the 8 or whatever the hell it was that was up there. And he's blown a gasket. Did you see that sensational finish? Yeah, I think one was is out the door. This is a Control-Alt-Delete if ever I've seen one. Yeah, what a sensational finish that was. But anyway, to cut a long story short, now that they've adjusted the ratings on Cowboy, I played Tam the day and I played my worst game of Cowboy ever. I couldn't pot a ball. Yeah, that's this is a forfeit on the cards. He ain't coming back. He's gone for the night. Yeah, no, it's not easy running out on Cowboy at the best of times to get 3 or 4 caroms in a row. But running out from 75 is not bad. I think I've actually run out the 10 caroms 2 or 3 times. I'm getting better. Yeah, this is a 10-minute wait. This I think it's 10 minutes, isn't it? I can't tab out because of this. Well, I can just say OK to that. Let's have a look at what's happening elsewhere on the bracket. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll nip in and catch the Tommy Slim match. No, he's not. He's never in the stream. He's Italian. He doesn't. I don't think he really would understand the word I was saying. But if he gets the gist of it, he's been bloody awful, for wanting a better description. But anyway, Slim is 5-3 up, and this is that going to hold the line? No, it isn't. And Slim is getting a 7 ball, which is extremely generous. Tommy sitting there on 2,372 rating. But like we've said before, and I'll say it again, any players that are 2,200 and over in 9 ball should not be given a handicap to either player. Like Tommy shouldn't be given Slim a 7 ball, and that's what's wrong with the game as far as the handicapping goes. Because any players that are in 2,200 should have a fair idea of what they're doing and shouldn't be running with a 7 ball as a money ball. I mean, that's the type of thing Steve wants to be fixing rather than adding Filipino rotation. Tommy going to be back within 1. The 3 ball flies in the bottom left. 1 ball is in play, 5 balls gone in, and the 2 balls down the bottom here, and the 4 ball, certainly if you can get on it from the short side you won't have a problem. Oh, that's going to be a disaster unless it bounces. Well, he can cut it. It'll be some shot to get anywhere near this 4 ball. I think it's far easier to play a safety off this 2 ball. Just bank it to the rail and bring it over towards the 7 and 4 and run up the table. leave it 9 feet away from it. He's gone for the cut, but again, the cut line, taking the cue ball straight into the pocket, but Slim's now got ball in hand, so he can get on the 4 from the side we spoke about. Just run the 6 ball up the table, kill the cue ball, and not run into the 9 when he pots the 7. That's the order of the day here. Oh, there we go with that funny spam again. Yeah, just jacking up to kill it. And as we speculated, Wanwa has done a runner. But self-inflicted embarrassment, to be honest with you. I mean, he did 2 or 3 of the dumbest shots you could probably do. And then bailed out. There's a result through as well. Spectre Dawn has beaten Valendern. So Slim on the hill, and we've got the 9 and the 7 locked up. Well, he's got to take evasive action here to avoid the 9 and 7 to get on the 4. He could probably run into the 9 and 7, but he's no guarantee he'd get on the 4 if he'd done that. Well, he's got the split. He's left a combo with the 7 and 8. And this 4 ball looks fairly tight to the rail. Well, it's not. There's a 2 or 3 millimetres off it. Well, this is where Slim needs to go down the right side. And he's going to scratch, is he? No. So, if Tommy's to look at the 7 and 8, he realises he doesn't need to do anything to try and improve them. He doesn't need to. He can play the combo. Oh, wee Jimmy Cranky. I call her wee Jimmy. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a fan. No, I wouldn't go that far. And the last time I went to vote was Scottish independence voting, and since then I've had no interest in it. I thought, if I'm right in thinking, I think he should have miscarried not that long ago, Nicola Sturgeon. So this is not a difficult combo. The difficulty is whether you're still going to have a shot in the 7. And that will do. Now, if he can avoid running into the 9, he can just play this plain ball and come back out into the table on the right side. Or he can stun across, whatever he prefers. Oh, he's going to run short below it. He didn't really get into the cue ball. You've got to play that 100%. So this needs to go in off the far jaw. It's all or nothing in this 9 ball. So anyway, oh well, that's it. Man, that's all come about because Tommy didn't get into the cue ball. And he had 2 options. He could have ran through as long as he could avoid the 9, or he could have stunned and drawn that across, and he didn't go through with it. And Slim goes through 7 racks to 4. So let's talk about these. Not that we're getting that political, but what about Boris Johnson and these Tories all partying, all having drinks parties? There's parties coming out the woodwork. I think that's another one that has been mentioned today. I mean, they had a drinks party Was it on the same day or the day before Prince Philip get buried? Oh dear. It's always one rule for them and sod the rest. And what about Prince Andrew? The Queen strung him out to dry. The Queen's lawyers have probably said, right, there's enough embarrassment. We need to pull the plug on him because this isn't going too well once this court case comes to pass. So they've bailed him out and strung him out in a limb. Oh, I'll tell you, there's more scandal with the aristocracy and the politicians in this country than anywhere else. And that's the ones we find out about. There's all the other stuff you don't hear about. Anyway, Slim is now going to play Spectre Dawn, so there's no doubt about what match we're going to watch next. And we're waiting the players arriving. I mean, it's an embarrassment. So as I mean, I watched because the only thing I ever watch in the Prime Minister's Question Time is the first 10 minutes. You know, because that's where the leader of the opposition can, ask him some questions and everything. Boris must have repeated the same line about 10 times or more. I apologise, I apologise. You have to wait until the outcome of the inquiry, blah, blah. You have to, I refer the Honourable, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and I'll tell you something, there's no way he's going to resign. That's the last thing in his list. He'll rise above it. So he will. But what a buffoon he is. He thought it was a works meeting, and they're all sitting there with their drink. You really got to laugh. But it'll all come around in the end when it comes to the general election time. Folk have got long memories when it comes to that. They'll string him out to dry then. That's provided his own backbenchers and all his cronies don't garrote him before it gets to election time and bail him out. So anyway, here we go with the lag. And we've got Slim at the bottom of the screen, Spectre Dawn at the top. It's a scratch match, of course. I doubt it very much. I doubt it very much that the Tory party would have to. I mean, I think one of the constituent group of Tories has put in a vote of no confidence in him. But it's not what they say, it's what the cabinet say, and the rest of the Tory pack. It's what they say that matters. But if he had any shred of decency, he would walk. But that's not in his vocabulary. He wants to go out in a high. He doesn't want to go out in the shamefaced embarrassment of what they've been up to while all this COVID thing's been on. Well, that's what a general election's all about, Simon. Once that comes around, as I say, folk will get long memories. I mean, the immediate thing you'll notice is in the by-elections, if there's any by-elections to come, the Tories will be flung out the door. And Sir Keir Starmer will want to milk this as long as he can to improve his rating. But talk about digging a hole for yourself. That's certainly what they've done. So, straight away, the scratch from Spectre Dawn gives Slim a chance. Now let's have a quick look here, because I think this 6-ball goes. Yeah, plenty of room past the 7. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Now you would think then, because the 6 ball does go, that Slim doesn't want to go anywhere near the 6 and 7. But the angle he's got in the 5, he might have to, he could do one thing, he could try and squat behind it. Oh, he's managed to hold it. That's even better. I thought the angle was letting him run away and behind it. And what about that scandal with this this woman that was working in the government, this Chinese woman? MI5 have released a statement on her. Has been, you know, she's been trying to buy people off in the government and working for the Chinese. That's a good one as well. I mean, it's just amazing what goes on. Once it comes to public knowledge. So Slim, 1-0 up, ball in the break, and a shot in the 1 into the side. Oh, he's a bit, well, he's got a slight angle. He can get into that gap between the 7 and 8. He can go forward and just come back up the table. He has to get a decent line though. He doesn't want to run in behind the 7 or 8. But he's got the gap. Nice angle. Cut the 4. Bring the cue ball back into the table. But again with a decent angle in the 5 so he can get back across. Now the danger here is coming up top side and been too aggressive if he wants to come over to this left hand rail. Yeah, he's went around the corner to go from the short end, because if he tried to come over to this side, the dangers of scratching that side pocket. So that wasn't bad thinking there by Slim. And he should be 2-0. Where's my bottle went to? There we go. Has any of you guys been watching this this James, what's it called again? This James what's his second name? James something space telescope thing. There's live streams on, well, not that there's anything to see, but the live streams that have been on YouTube about it. I don't know how far it's still to go because I haven't watched any of it today, but they've been testing the mirror and all that sort of stuff. And there's like, you go onto it, and there's like, you know, thousands of people sitting watching YouTube, and there's nothing to see. There's absolutely nothing to see. You're not going to see any live pictures or anything. They're sitting watching the screen, and then there's like a simulation of what's happening with the telescope. They're doing various tests and opening the mirrors and this and that and the next thing. And it's I don't think it's still anywhere near where it's going to actually be in orbit. Is it not meant to be like 1,000,000 odd miles from Earth or something? What the hell's his name again? James something space telescope. Can't for the life of me remember what his second name was. Couple of results through. Houdini and Bankster. Houdini wins 7-5 and Larry has scraped through, giving a hefty handicap to Christian. Larry's won it in a final rack decider. I mean, the one thing I'm waiting on is when this thing's up and running and we see some of the pictures that they get from these galaxies far, far away. 01 was come back online. Is he back in for his loser's side match, I wonder? Well, this has got to travel. big time. Oh, he's took the risk of getting to the long rail on the right side. Avoided the scratch, but he's left the bedhead cut. And another testy one for 3-0. Another result through. Brain fell out and Rez. Rez is through 7 racks to 4. And Slim does go 3-0 in front. Right, while this is into its 4th rack, let me just do a quick search here. That's not what I'm looking for. In fact, that's the wrong bloody thing. I should run the calendar, shouldn't I? No, that's not what I was doing for. I'm trying to find this bloody straight pool tournament. So have a quick look and see how many's in. 44 open seats. So I presume that's 20 in. I think that's 20 that's in so far. The usual culprits are in. So there's still plenty of room for other people to get in. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Steve because he's left the shot clock out. That's one thing I never noticed, but it was Larry that mentioned that the other day there. There's no shot clock in it, although I think there was like 2 or 3 extensions the last time round, but anyway, it probably won't matter. And there's no jump queues. So plenty of room for anybody to get signed up, but if you're going to sign up to that, you're going to have to learn some of the disciplines to be playing in that tournament, because you're going to get found out very quickly, as we saw last year. Yeah, I saw that in the news, although they didn't really get into it in too much detail. They just mentioned that they've released the list of the top 10. No doubt PewDiePie's in there somewhere, but this guy's earning 40 million a year from his videos. I mean, that's just incredible. But then again, you only get out of it what you put into it. You know, if you want to go, because I mean, these guys, especially if you're making videos, you've got to spend an awful lot of time. Bear in mind, you're not working, you've not got a proper job. That is your job. You've got to spend an awful lot of time with editing software and all that sort of stuff. If you're creating little montage videos and things, little funny things. I don't know whether PewDiePie does that himself, but you know, he has little things like that on his. I don't know about the other guy. I've never seen the other guy's channel. But you're dedicating your every working hour of the day to make sure you have a video every day or two and keep your subscribers happy. But you're never going to do that with Virtual Pool 4, let's be honest. Well, I'm sure they have got mates that work with them, yeah. They're probably on the payroll, to be honest with you, if you're earning 40 million bloody pound or $40 million. But that's the opportunities you have that you wouldn't have had, you know, 25 years ago. It's an easy way out if you're willing to put the time and effort in. It's an easy way to doing a day job. Getting your hands dirty. So, Spectre Dawn is off the mark. And he's also got a ball in the break. Now, he can certainly get to the 5 ball. Now, is he going to be in a position where he can pot the 5, cut the 5 and run into the 6 and 9? Or does he want to try risking splitting the 6 and 9 right now, which he can do off this 4? Oh, that'll do it. That saves any trouble. Cannon the 9 ball in past the 5 for a quick rack. Oh, he's only got 80 million subscribers. Oh, PewDiePie's got 110 million. I've never heard of him. I've never seen any of his channel. I spend too much time on YouTube looking at dogs and cats and parrots and all that stuff. That's how sad I am. I get more enjoyment out of doing that than watching these guys with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Right, 3-2, Spectre Dawn's in the game. Now is Spectre Dawn going to take the bait here? The reverse bank on the 2 ball, run the cue ball around the 3 rails and try and get up the table onto the 3, or is he going to duck for cover here? Well, Slim's got to kick this with left English, because if he goes to the left side of the 2, he's at risk of scratching off that 2 onto the 8 and into the pocket. If he kicks it from behind, he can get distance. I don't know why he's not doing it. That's a shot I'd be playing. I'd be playing there to kick the 2, try and hit it full in the face, send it down there. Well, he's hit the 8 full in the face, and all he's done is left the 2 dead on. I don't think that was a shot. Got to listen to the commentator, Slim. Now that needs to bounce and spin and go past, or it's going to lock up. Well, this needs a cigarette paper touch on that 3 ball, but he's got to try and get away from the 4 and 9, or tuck in behind it like that. I mean, there's a guy I subscribe to on YouTube, and he's the most annoying guy to watch, and he does nothing but Eurotruck videos, right? What the hell's his name? Experimental Trucker, right? Now, I sent him a message years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. I posted a message. I says, look, why the hell every time he does Eurotruck, he does a video of a particular map that he's testing out, and he always uses the developer mode to type text. He does not. I said, look, you've got to use a mic. You can't be typing that. It's the most frustrating thing to watch. The video starts, and then within 2 minutes, he'll bring up the box and he'll start typing the chat. And then once you've read that, he clears that chat, and then he opens it up again to type some more chat. Oh God, it really infuriates me watching it. But again, maybe his English isn't great. Mind you, there's guys that have Eurotruck videos and they speak Polish and all sorts, you know, but this guy, it's just most infuriating thing to watch. He'll do a review of a map that somebody's made for the game. Couple of results through in the 1 loss side. Valendern has put Tommy out again. That'll be the handicap doing that, or playing a big part in it. Final rack decider. Valendern is through, and Bankster has gone through against Christian. 4-0. You know something? If you ask me if I know anything about that Fortnite game, I know absolutely nothing about it other than a lot of people play it. I've never watched it, I've never played it, I've got absolutely no interest in playing it in the first place either. But I think, you know, obviously, if it's a multiplayer game, you have to be in with a bunch of people that you know to get the best enjoyment out of any games like that. You know, it's no use going into a server where it's all strange people. Obviously, if you play it long enough, you can sort of get to know people. But I mean, I'm talking from Gran Turismo experience here because that's the best time I've ever had online. I keep saying about it. That's the most fun and enjoyment I've ever had in any game was Gran Turismo and the kart racing. And it's the same for any game like that. If you're in with like-minded people, a bunch of you where you're maybe on Discord and you've known the people to talk to over a period of time, then that's where you get the best enjoyment, the most laughs online gaming. Not with a bunch of strangers, because when you end up with a bunch of strangers, you end up with a bunch of arseholes half the time. And that just spoils enjoyment, which is why multiplayer shooters, I've never enjoyed them. You know, Call of Duty and all of that stuff. I mean, I've had Call of Duty and I had them over the years, and I've never had them more than an hour or two, and I'm bored to death of them. Because you've got campers sitting in a corner, and that's all they do. Bunny hopping people jumping all over the place. No. So I've gave up all of that stuff. I used to get Call of Duty and all of those games when they came out, but no, it's been a long, long time since I've bought one. So, Spectre Dawn suddenly finds himself 4-3 in front, and Slim has got the work to do. I mean, you've got those guys as well where they're, you know, there's like world events for these games. It's like sort of professional. Well, it's what you call the esports, where they've got, you know, big money events. And then that other one, what's that other one that's become very popular? What's that Battlegrounds one? Pug, or what's it called again? PUBG or whatever. I can't remember. Oh, one was Come Alive again. He's gone through in the one lost side. Players Unknown Battleground or something, is it called? That seems to be quite a popular one. But again, I've never so much as gave it a second thought or looked at it. Yeah, never went near it. So, this 9 ball is well off the rail. Plenty of room to get there. He doesn't want to be dead straight though like this. On this 8 ball, he's going to have to thump this or get the spin working, and he's played that well. The spin doing the trick. What you actually have to, you don't just respawn. What is it, like a permadeath thing? Because most of these shooters, you get shot, you respawn somewhere else on the map. Well, that 9 ball is asking to be knocked in. Oh, there isn't respawn. No. Battlefield was all the rage at one time as well. I think I got the first Battlefield game. And again, without having anybody else's company, it's pointless getting into a game like that where you don't know anybody. You get no. I can't see anybody getting any enjoyment out of games like that unless you're in a squad. Well, that 9 ball was always asking to be knocked in. Slim took the opportunity, gets himself back into the lead. So it's a bit like a permadeath. Once you get killed in that map, you end up going to another map. Revival was a thing that was brought into a few of those games. I've played a couple of games over the years where you've had the revival thing. Now, one ball obviously pots into the side. Going to have to kill the cue ball. 3 ball, not a problem. 4 ball up into the top corner after the 3. And Slim should be in the hill. Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, my reaction time for those type of games is well below the standard required to get to get any success. I think I'll tell you something else. I think the worst thing about the multiplayer games when I played them, you've got to remember, I'm talking 15 years ago and more, maybe longer than that. I remember playing, what the hell's it called? Oh, my memory's gone a total blank tonight. Oh, Jesus, what the hell was it called? The military game that's been out for years. On the big islands and everything. What the hell is it called? Anyway, I remember playing that when I was in a 56k modem. I mean, you were shooting people that had zipped across the screen. Not Halo, no. Proper military game. What the hell is it called? Oh, Jesus. No, not Counter-Strike. Not Counter-Strike. See, that's just multiplayer maps, that thing. I'm talking about this proper thing with an island that's like 15 kilometres long and not Medal of Honor. Don't tell me, not Command and Conquer. What is it called? This is going to annoy me. I can't go to bed tonight to remember the name of the game. Oh dear. Oh. Anyway, that was like the first, and that was a game where I was playing with a couple of the guys from the work, and we used to be in TeamSpeak and that, and we had a lot of fun in that. But the problem was that the connections were crap. You know, you were shooting at somebody, you'd emptied a clip on your rifle, and you still hadn't killed the guy that was on the screen. That's how bad it was. You know, that was back in the days when you went into a server and the first thing that happened was you get kicked out of it because your ping was way too high. And this was just as, I mean, broadband wasn't even in existence. It was only 56k. And it was only people back then that lived in the cities, the big cities, that had better internet connections. I'm still trying to think of the name of this game. I'm going to have to open up Steam and actually look at it in my games list. Oh dear. It's one of these things, my memory goes that bad, but suddenly it comes into my head as I'm, lying in my bed. But I won't be able to go to bed tonight without remembering this. It just annoys me. Well, Spectre Dawn had to come back from, I think, 3-0 down. No, it's none of them. No, it's not Doom. And it's not Wolfenstein. But, I mean, they were all like multiplayer shooters back in the day. 6 balls locked up. That's the one thing that could scupper Spectre Dawn's chances here. Well, he's gone dead straight. Or does it go? Oh, it goes. It just goes. Well, he's got lucky. He's come back into play. The one I'm talking about, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about a proper military game, tanks, jets, helicopters, you name it. One of the islands was called Malden, I think it was. back in the day. What the hell is it called? Oh dear. No, not Battlefield. Not Battlefield. That's already been mentioned. No. That shows you that most of you guys haven't. Most of you guys have heard of it, but will have never played it. Not War Thunder. Oh dear. This is ridiculous that I can't think of the name of the game. I can picture the box. God. Well, Spectre Dawn trying to take this all the way. It's World War II, yep. Well, no, as a matter of fact, tell a lie, it's not World War II. It's set in a modern day. It's not like 2000, the year 2200 or anything like that. It's fictional, and it's certainly not Mrs. Pac-Man. Oh dear, this is so annoying. Oh God. It's none of the Call of Duties. There's a lot of mod. I mean, that's why that game keeps going as well, because there's a lot of mod work goes on in it. A lot of mod maps and all sorts of mods for it. That's what keeps PC games going over the years. It's why it keeps a longevity. Plus, the developers keep bringing out different things for it as well. And it probably came out around a not too similar time than Eurotruck, maybe even earlier than that. So it's been going a long time. No, there we go. It just came into my head. Arma 3. That's it. Although it wasn't Arma 3 when it first came out. Good evening to Arsonist. Yeah, Arma 3. I mean, that's a proper thing. That I mean, there's guys on that who are in squads. They've all got their own levels. You've got colonels and captains and all sorts. Proper military strategy goes on in that game. Well, that's a game you get no enjoyment on your own. Take my word for it. You have to be in a squad to get any semblance, because that's a game where if you get fired upon and you're in your truck, you end up on the ground. You could be running about for hours and see nobody because the maps are so big. I mean, you're out in the countryside or you're out in the forest, and unless you go and steal a truck or a car from somewhere, you're not going to get anywhere. But that was a game in its earlier versions when it was out. As I say, we used to play that. There was 2 or 3 of us played it, and we would do the multiplayer missions online, all in 56k modems, and we still enjoyed it even though the lag was so crap. Thank God. I mean, I knew I'd remember it before the night's out. I could never sleep tonight without that. It would just annoy the hell out of me. Well, Spectre Dawn is going to have to pull a shot here on this 5 ball, and he needs to watch that middle pocket as well. Well, this is going to be a cracker. Not only that, I think he's just trying to run for cover, but he's going to be in trouble in a minute. Let's have a look at that 5 ball. He's going to be... No, he might not be. He can't squeeze that past the 7 and keep the cue ball locked up. But Slim's looking at a 3 ball combo here. Well, this would be a good shot because that looks as if it's sending the 8 ball to the knuckle on the left hand side. Got to shoot now. Ah, he's got it. It looked as if it was going to the knuckle, but he got the line right. Well, if he just checks this cue ball up, he's going to leave the bedhead cut in the 6 ball. And now the only thing he can do now is hit this plain ball and scratch in the bottom left hand corner. As we look. You've always got to be wary when you're playing these thin cuts. Yeah, that's why he was doing his best to make sure he didn't just go in a straight line off that 6 ball. Because he could have come down here on the left side and ended up hooking himself behind the 9. But as it is, Spectre Dawn has a chance to pinch the match. And in it goes. How's his luck? Well, it's got to be the bank. Or is he going to thin cut this because this cue ball is going to be running? Well, I don't think Spectre Dawn misses many of these. And in it goes. So Spectre Dawn had a slow start, was 3-0 down, but he stole the match in the end in the final rack decider. He beat Slim 7 racks to 6. And the tournament's rattling on. Larry has gone through against Houdini, 7 racks to 2. Brainful Out has beaten Simax in the final rack. And that result that we've just seen there. So, all here we're in the wrong bloody tournament, aren't we? Wait a minute. Get this thing to work. Let's have a look and see where we are. Get the update done. Right, so all the second round matches are well underway. We've got Rez, sorry, not Rez, Ice Age 6-4 up against Rez. Spectre Dawn's going through. Stefan and Chimpy, let's get in there. Or we may well have missed the end of it here, I think. Because we're on Hill in this match as well. And Stefan's getting the 8 ball. That's a thing I never had. I never had a Commodore 64 or an Amstrad. That was before I had any interest in moving from consoles to a computer. My mate at work back in the day, I mean, he had a Commodore 64. We used to go to Glasgow on a Sunday, and he would buy the bootleg CDs of games for the Commodore 64. Which looked much better than a console in its day as far as the games were concerned. I think he used to have a Formula 1 game on the Commodore 64, and to me back then it looked brilliant. It looked much better than anything I'd ever seen in a console. And Rez has gone to the 1 loss side. Ice Age goes through, 7 racks to 4. And Chimpy's just chipped to 6 and knocked to 3 safe. He's locked it up. Was that not a bit of a hit and miss back in the day as well, when you had to load those tapes and then sometimes it wouldn't load properly and you were maybe sitting there for hours trying to get the bloody thing to load? Yeah, I'm sure that, I mean, my first PC had a floppy drive, and I never used it. I never used it for anything. And I'm sure if you mention floppy disk to anybody nowadays, I wonder what the hell you're talking about. When you think about the storage capacity back in the day, you know, kilobytes, that was a huge amount, so it was. I mean, you download a patch now for a game and it's, you know, it could be like 30 megabytes. Oh, the cue ball's gone. Oh, Stefan, you've got to keep a hold of the cue ball. Yeah, it's amazing how the internet's moved on. I mean, I've told you this story before. I remember I used to go on a Friday night, me and a bunch of guys. Friday night, rather than hanging about the streets, we'd go down to the pool hall. And that was where all they had when the pool hall opened up. It was a pool hall down the stair, up the stairs. Chimpy, of course, finishes off the match with ball in hand. And up the stairs was the pool tables, and down the stairs, all they had was like 6 Space Invader machines when it first came out, and that shows you how long ago that was. And there'd be people queuing up with the coins on top of the machine with all the credits in them. And I remember saying, and that is gospel truth as I sit here. I said to my mates when we left one night, I said there'll be some day when we'll have things like that in the house. We'll have all these games in the house, and you won't need to go to a games hall. You know, you'll have a machine that will play them, and it's come on leaps and bounds through the decades. But I was there at the very beginning of the gaming. When you had, in fact, how many did we have in the town? We had at least 3, which were combined either snooker or pool halls along with gaming. You know, like one-arm bandit games or the actual video games. We had them, but of course there's nothing like that in the town now. They've all died a death. Right, so quick look at the bracket. As the tournament moves on, we've got Larry and Chimpy and Spectre Dawn and Ice Age, so no prizes for guessing what match we're going in to watch next. It's going to be Larry and Chimpy, and I imagine Chimpy's going to be getting a handicap of some description. Maybe the 8 ball. Let's have a look. Oh no, he's getting a 7 ball, which again is very generous. I don't know who's who. Larry's at the bottom of the screen. And Chimpy has won the lag. That was those soft rubber buttons, wasn't it? Yeah, because the buttons would stick. That's right. Yeah, that was horrible. So they were. The ZX Spectrum. Oh, good evening to Semi-Pro. We're just reminiscing here. I've got them talking old school. And we're talking about the early days of gaming. Well, I'm reminiscing about that. You know something? I've still got, and again, I say hand on heart, I have still got my first ever console that I bought. The Sega Master System with Alex Kidd and Miracle World built into it. The 2 controllers, and it's sitting downstairs in a black bin bag in its box, complete with a power supply, and it still works, although I haven't tested it for like 15 years. And it still works. Alex Kidd and Miracle World. Bloody hardest game I've ever played, by the way. Don't let anybody kid you that game was easy. So, Chimpy getting a 7 ball. That's going to be a tough ask for Larry. I'll tell you that Alex Kidd in Miracle World was one of the most frustrating bloody games you'll ever play. I'm not talking about the sort of revamped, nice graphic looking thing that came out. I'm talking about the old Master System. Oh, well, I'm going to say it again. If that was a proper mouse, he'd have played that a lot better. But Alex Kidd in Miracle World was easy. You're a bloody liar. Barefaced lies, that. Or I would just crap at it. One of the two. I tell you, I thought it was bloody frustrating and infuriating. And I'm surprised the console remained in one piece, because that's where you want to take a hammer to it and smash it to bits. Yeah, the Sega Master System. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. The most frustrating and annoying game you'll ever play. And I think Chimpy's got the cover. Easy hitting the 2 ball though. Larry, he's going to play the jump, but he could easily kick that. Well, that's a good shot though. Of course, no idea if he was going to anywhere near the 3 ball. And he's going to be running into the 5 ball here, I think. Or if he gets lucky, he'll go around the corner and come into the gap. You completed Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I want to see video evidence of that. Well, he's found a gap, but he's going to end up nowhere in the 4. That was a game I never got into. They had Donkey Kong in the arcades as well. That was a game I never played. I was never into that. I used to play Galaga for hours in the arcade. I mean, 10 pence in the cabinet, and I could complete the game in 2.5 hours. All 255 levels of it. And it just shows you what time does and age does, because I've had Galaga. I've downloaded it and played it on the computer, and I was absolutely awful and hopeless at it. The reactions have gone. Trying to remember the patterns and stuff like that, the patterns of them coming down at the top of the screen. Oh, that was another thing we used to play. Now that you mentioned Daley Thompson, we used to play, what was that one where you used to smash the buttons in the arcade? Track and Field. Oh God, we used to play that for hours. We played that and wore it into the ground. So, all square. And that was the one where you would you'd do the javelin, and if you got a good throw in the first throw, you would then build up your speed, bash the button for him to release the javelin, and then put it to 90 degrees so it went up into the sky and shot the bird down as a little bonus. See, I remember some things. And then you had the high jump. The hurdles was the hardest, because what we used to do is, you used to have your mate standing next to you, and you would be bashing the buttons for him to run, and your mate would have the jump button. to try and get a world record in the 110 metre hurdles. Oh, there's another game we used to play. You know, you'll have, some of you who are a certain age will remember. I don't know what it was. Was it World Cup? It was called, but it was played on a cabinet. You know, you sat down at a table, and you had a roller ball built into the cabinet on one side of the screen, and your opponent would be on the other side, and it would be top down. It was a top-down football game. So you'd play that. All you had was a roller ball to move the player and a button for him to kick the ball. We used to play that for ours as well. Brazil, of course, were the best team in it. They had the sort of slightly faster players. That was a game we used to play a lot of. And Slim has gone through in the one-loss side against Wanwa. What was that one that was like a cartoon? Now, there's another game I'll never remember the name of, but it was the one where you were you had to like rescue. I don't know whether you had to rescue. It was something about. It wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. Was it Dragon's Lair? That was it. That was like an animation thing. It was like a cartoon, and you had to do certain things at a certain time, or the animation wouldn't take you to the next bit. That was a frustrating game to play. And then what was the other one where it was level after level of dungeons? What was that one where you either chose to be a wizard or an elf or something else? What was that one called? And all you did was kept firing coins in it to give you more lives. Gauntlet, that's the one I'm talking about. 9 ball in the break, cue ball in the break as well. 9 ball gets respotted, ball in hand to Chimpy. Yeah, that was a money cow, that game, wasn't it? Gauntlet. You used to put loads of coins in that. Yeah, it was always good when it was multiplayer. So, Chimpy with ball in hand. Now, he's going to have to play a really delicate one on this 2 ball. Just to stop right there on the short side. Oh dear. Well, that maybe wasn't the wisest of moves. I thought he could have just dropped that in and left himself on the 3. Well, he's got the kick. Now he needs to dig into this cue ball. In fact, he needs to draw this off the 4 so that he comes this way. So he needs to get right into the cue ball. If he stuns this, well, he looks as if he is digging in. Yeah, he's got it working nice. Avoided the scratch. I would imagine some of them will cost a couple of grand. Bankster marches on the one-loss side, as does Houdini. Bankster beats Rez by 4 racks to 1, and Houdini's whitewashed. Brain fell out. Yeah, a few grand, and some of them are collector's editions. You know, some of them are rare. These pinball machines. Well, this is a tester to square the match. But he's pushed it too short onto the short rail. And he's gifted Larry daylight. 2-rack gap now. Oh dear, well Larry's gone for the old stun and he's paid the price again. It needed a roll in to give it every chance to go in, and he's fallen into the trap. That's what you can't do in Virtual Pool 4. You cannot stun them offline. If you do, they don't go in. Well, the one lost side is marching on very, I'll say that again, it's marching on very swiftly tonight. Valendern has gone through 4-2 against Stefan. And I would imagine that sooner or later one of these guys is going to bump into somebody with a hefty handicap. Well, there's a console that's advertised on the internet right now that's got thousands of games on it. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it. You know, old games that you used to play. I'm trying to remember what console they were on, but it comes with like maybe what, a couple of hundred or 1,000 odd games. I can't remember. You can buy it, plug it into your telly. Well, Larry's in no man's land here. He's going for it past the 5 ball. I think he is. No, he is going to the top right. But he's got to get into of course, the other thing is he's stuck to the rail, so he's limited in what he can do with the cue ball other than just go forward. Well, now, that line is only there if you play up to next to the 9 ball with left English, I think. The line isn't there if you play it plain ball. As you try to go through the gap. Oh, that's well played. That's a cracking shot. That's excellent. Of course, he's going to have to pull out another good shot on this 5 ball. It's got to be the cut down the rail, I would think. Give it every chance to go in. No, that's not going to get there. And Larry is going to have to take his opportunity this time. Oh, well. Does he risk thin cutting this? Or does he play the bank? Looks an odds-on certainty the bank shot, but he's got to still stay in the 7. Cue balls coming around. Bedhead cut. Almost a bedhead cut in the 7. Do I remember the Coca-Cola spinners? I have not got a clue what you're talking about. I have no clue what that is. So therefore I don't remember what you're talking about. I remember Tamagotchis, if that's any consolation. I remember them. Yo-yos, no, I don't remember them. Oh, I remember what a yo-yo is, but I don't remember anything to do with Coca-Cola. Well, Larry should be in front here. Oh dear. Now, why did he run into the 9? And the cue ball's going to be running again. And he's okay. And he's got the lead. But it's a dangerous handicap, this 7 ball. For a player like Chimpy who can pot a ball. Cue ball's running. I don't think anything's got in, no. And this one ball is just enough angle, as long as you don't push this into that middle pocket knuckle, to get the cue ball out far enough to have a shot in the two. Well, dare I say it, we should be all square in a minute. And no sooner have I said that than he's clipped off the 8 and he's buried himself behind the 4, and this is going to have to be a long jump, but it's only going to be over the edge of the 4. He's got loads of room, but he needs to have a lower angle in the cue to get that to go longer on the jump, and he's played it well. And now it's the no man's land shot. Everything tells you that you're going to scratch the side pocket here off this. He might just get to the point, and he's avoided it. And once again, another tough one in this 5 ball. He's got to get dug right into the cue ball to get it moving backwards towards the 6. Oh, well, that's what happens when you have to move the cue ball. You have to get that punch into it. And it should have been all square. Now Larry is going to find himself having to probably play the combo in this 6-8 here. He's going to come down the right side. I don't think he should risk trying to do an awful lot with the cue ball. Well, he's managed to come down the left. The potting angle was obviously better than I thought it was. I've never heard a tab clear. Are you talking about? I've heard a tab as a drink. Used to come in cans. I remember tab. Good evening to Simon. DJ Simon, that is. Well, Chimpy had a golden opportunity to square the match. Yeah, whatever happened to tab, I take it that's out of business because I don't see it anywhere now. Well, you've got every other flavour of Coca-Cola now. I mean, the ridiculous thing you've got now is you've got Jaffa cakes in strawberry flavour and all sorts of flavours. When as far as I'm concerned, a Jaffa cake is a Jaffa orange flavour. It's nothing else flavour. Well, Larry sort of got out of jail there because Chimpy should have been all square. And now Larry with balls in the break. A stack of balls in the break by the look of it. And Slim has gone through against Bankster. 4 racks to 1. Anybody give me an update in the snooker, please? It's on the iPlayer or it's on BBC Sport channel. Let me know what's happening in the snooker. Well, Larry's got out of the jail again. The big stun in the 7 ball. And it runs along the rail into the opposite corner. He's living in a knife edge. But he's going to find himself 3 racks in front. Hubba Bubba, remember that. Hubba Bubba Bubblegum. And 3 balls into the bottom right hand corner pocket there, and the 8 ball into the opposite. So that's 4 in the break, 5 in the break, and he's hooked in the 1. Well, the only good thing for Larry is that Chimpy's money ball's gone. Oh, the 5 ball getting pushed in. Oh, I tell you, Larry's pulling the shots off tonight. None of them of which he's tried, but he's getting there. Well, he might be using all his luck in the one match here. He wants to wind it in a wee bit, Larry. But he's going to be on the hill in a second if he doesn't stun this into the jaws again. Well, it rattled, but it went in. And this match has turned on its head in the last couple of racks. Larry can't stop potting balls on the break. Well, I probably put the mockers on it. Nope, 3 balls gone. And he's got a shot in the 1. And the 2 ball is open in the right side rail. And he's got a nice angle to drop over onto the right rail. Now, he just wants to come back an inch where he doesn't stun and hook himself behind the 6 here if he wants to play it safe. This could easily go wrong if he doesn't get this right. I think it has gone wrong. So over the edge of the 6. He done one of these earlier, but that's not going in. And Chimpy lives again. And he simply got to do it. They're all there. There isn't a problem. Well, the thing is, they're all there, but you've got to do it the sensible way. And the sensible way here just to go forward and come around to the right side behind the 7 and 8 and play the 6 either into the side or down the rail. Now the problem with that is he's stuck to the rail, so he's now limited in what he can do. He's going to have to jack up if he's going to try and get anything into this cue ball to get it to go that way and come down, or leave a long shot in the 7 there or a long shot that side. But if you just pot the 6 and run down, you're going to end up nowhere. He's got to jack up and stun that in. Well, he's looking at the combo. And it's not set. Well, did he play that into the side? Somebody tell me he played that into the side. But it's gone in. But he's still 3 behind. Well, something went in. I don't know what it was, but I heard something drop. Well, the 1 ball's gone. And he's got a cut on the 2. Now, let's have a look at the angle here. He's got to do a wee bit with the cue ball here if he doesn't want to finish hook behind the 5. Unless he comes inside the 5. If he can manage to do that. Well, he's run into the 5. He's missed the 2. And he's left it on for Larry. How does this 3 ball look? It's off the rail. Oh, he's avoided the scratch. Now, the 6 ball is handy if he's going to play it down the rail, because that's the easiest way he can get on this 7. And that's the one thing he has to be thinking about. I mean, even if he finishes in that side of the 6 to play it down the rail, he's still fine. And that's what he's going to end up doing. He's going to just cut the 5 come across here sort of dead weight if you can. It needs to keep going, the straighter the better. Let's have a look. You're just going to have to jab this down the rail. Just a little jab to kill the cue ball. That's perfect. And now if anything, he wants to just brush off the edge of that 8. Nice and gentle. Well, he's avoided it. But Larry looks to be home and dry. Commentator's curse. Where's the cue ball going? Where's he going to end up? Is he going to have a shot? Oh dear. Right, in it goes, cue ball. Cue ball. Ooh. Oh, Larry has used all his luck in that match. It's downhill all the way now for Larry. But he scrapes through. Well, he goes through comfortably actually, but he scrapes through in the rack. And he's beaten Chimpy by 7 racks to 3. Now, we must be well on now. Now, why am I hitting Control U when I'm trying to go to the bloody bracket? Right, so we've got Larry waiting on Spectre Dawn, who's on the hill. It might be over, as a matter of fact. Let's just jump in. And it's all over now, folks. We just saw the 9 ball. I'll have a quick drink before I start getting into a coughing fit. So we've now got the hot seat match. And that's going to be between Larry and Spectre Dawn. Meanwhile, a quick look at what's going on in this one lost side. Chimpy, having moved across, is now going to play Slim. And he's going to be getting again a handicap. And it's a dangerous handicap in a race to 4. So Slim is going to have to work hard. We've got Ice Age waiting on the winner of Valendern and Houdini. And Valendern's 2 racks to 1 up at the moment. This bloody bracket. And so we move in to the Larry Spectre Dawn match to see who gets through to the final. Well, Larry will be hoping that his luck holds out. And we're just waiting on Spectre Dawn arriving. I'll lag for the break. Look at that 7 ball still spinning. I've had a ball spinning for like, it seems like 45 seconds. And the yawning started. It's downhill all the way now for me, folks. The brain's beginning to go. Spectre Dawn may well be taking a bathroom break, or maybe he's going for a quick drink. Or maybe he's fallen asleep. So here we are, all set for the lag. Larry's at the bottom of the screen, Spectre Dawn at the top. And it's a scratch match. There's only 1 point in it between the 2 players, but Larry's definitely won the lag. Oh, 5 balls tracking. And he's got a thin cut in the one. Into the side. And, well, the problem with this shot is he's got to get the pace in the cut for the 1 ball to actually reach the hole. And he's hopefully maybe going to run into this 8 ball to leave himself a shot into the side on the 2 ball maybe. It will go. Well, he's caught the 8 ball thin. And I think he's still okay. You can see enough of the 2 to cheat the pocket anyway. But the idea there was if he hit that 8 ball full in the face, he would have had the 2 ball into the side anyway, so it actually worked out not too bad. Now I think a little stun in again to hold for the 4. Got to get these stuns dead on. And a little soft draw back. Now again, the problem with this is if he doesn't come far enough back, he's interfering with the 9 ball unless he takes an evasive manoeuvre. And the problem also is the fact the 7 ball's up the table. So he's got to get this shot right and avoid the scratch. He's avoided the scratch. And he hasn't overcooked it. No, this is just going to be a plain and simple roll. Nothing more. Just a roll and leave the angle in the 7. Doesn't want to go too straight. Well, that's straighter than he would like. He would have liked a bit more angle. He's going to have to punch this. Get that cue ball tracking. In fact, he looks as if he's playing the big draw. The bottom right English kicks the cue ball up the table. Perfect angle in the 8. Just to drop up the table. And leave the cut in the 8, the 9. So Larry's going to get first blood. And can he build on it and get some of these multiple balls in the break that he got in that last match? Well, that was the most balls I'd seen in a break for quite some time. 5 from Larry earlier on there. He's certainly got a ball this time. And he's on the 1. He'll have a shot in the 2. And he should be able to go on the 3. Then his problem starts. Because he needs some sort of shot on the 3 if he can, where there's an angle to run into this 5 and 8 ball in the side rail. And if he can't do that, he can certainly put Spectre Dawn in a heap of trouble. Or he should be. So this is the critical shot coming up here. How good does he end up on this 3 ball where he can do something from it? Well, that might not be it. Well, I think there are certain times where you decide you pot the ball and you take your medicine and you play a lock-up safety rather than trying to do anything elaborate. And I think you'll be doing the right thing if you can just... Can he squeeze that 5 ball away from the 8 without leaving it on? Or is he just going to go to the short rail behind the 9? Well, I don't know what he's tried there. But look at what he's set up here. Well, Larry might bank this 5 and try and hit the 8 because that 6 ball's got to go in. Again, not Larry, Spectre Dawn. Spectre Dawn has actually hit it in off the 7, I think, or the 6, was it? And the 5 ball squeezed into the side, into the corner. Now he's got the 6 into the side. And Houdini has scraped through in another final rack decider against Valendern. But Spectre Dawn is going to be squaring the match up here. We had to go for some sort of bank with that 5 ball. He had to just actually try and hit the first ball, because the 6 ball was always going to go in on the combo, but he got it wrong, and the 5 ball still squeezed in. That 3 ball going to drop? Yes, it is. The 1 ball is on, 2 ball right in the middle of the table, and suddenly Spectre Dawn is going to be in the lead. I don't see any problems here other than an unforced error or a scratch or something crazy happening, because these have all fallen right into place. Again, just drop it in or stun it in, one of the two. Nobody gave me an update in the snooker. I presume nobody's even bothering to have a look on iPlayer or on BBC Sport for me and let me know what's happening. Or am I going to have to tab out and go and do it myself? Or is there anybody still watching this? I mean, I know what I can do. I can tab out and put the iPlayer on. Hang on a minute. Right, I'm back. Now, I've got the iPlayer running. It must be in the mid-session interval, because it's Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry that are rabbiting on about Mark Selby. So, I don't know what the score is. Well, I know that O'Sullivan's out. That happened yesterday. I'm talking about the match tonight. They're definitely at the mid-session interval, so it's either 4-0, 2 each, 3-1 to one of them. Well, the thing is, Stephen Hendry is very... See, I know who the knowledgeable commentators are, and Stephen Hendry's one of the best. Because you know that he knows what he's talking about on certain shots. Bullshit. Willie Thorne was one of the best as well. I used to like Willie because he knew what he was talking about. I'll tell you who I don't like. They had Jack Lazowski in as one of the pundits in the studio this afternoon. I don't think he's very I don't think he's very expressive. 3-1 to Hawkins. That's a good result at the moment for him. I think Jack Lazowski's he doesn't engage too well, which is something that he needs to get trained up on if he's going to be in the studio. You know, he's not very expressive. He's maybe not comfortable in that situation, but they've got him in there. He needs to get a wee bit more training, I think, to encourage him to open up a wee bit more. I mean, you get players like former players like Steve Davis and John Parrott. They're a lot more expressive, a lot more comfortable in what they're doing. But Jack Lazowski isn't. He's new to this sort of punditry stuff in the studio, and you can see that by watching and listening to him. He's sort of he's like a one-trick pony. You know, they ask him a question, he says this and that's about it. He doesn't sort of elaborate very much. Well, Spectre Dawn's 4-1 up. He's handed Larry a chance for the scratch and the break, and Larry's going to have to produce. Larry's run on this winner's side tonight is under threat big time. And he's going to have to plot his way out here, and he's got an immediate problem from the 2 ball to the 3. Unless he could just come back and play some sort of safety, which is easy enough to play, or he can go all out and try and play a combo in the 3 and 5. But if that was me, I'd be playing the 1 and the 2 and burying the 3 somewhere. That'd be my ploy, because he's taking a big risk if he's going to try and get really good on this 3 ball. Now, is he trying to tuck behind the 5? That looks like the shot, but he needs to cover the 3 though. If he doesn't get the cover behind the 5. Well, he hasn't got the cover, and he may well find himself in trouble himself in a second or two. Because Spectre Dawn could be trying the same shot here. Although he's looking at a potting angle, I think. No, he's just trying to get cover. And he's not found it either, so Larry gets a second bite at the cherry, but once again, he's going to end up coming down this left-hand side, unless he puts big draw into it, which he's tried. Big stun, offline, and the 3 rattles, and he gets lucky again. Spectre Dawn looks as if he's going to resort to the jump stick. Well, this is Larry's 3rd go, I think, at trying to win this rack, and he's not going to get any better than this now with ball in hand. Now that 4 ball is too tight past that 5 on that side. So he's gone to the right side. Just a drop in the 5. But he needs to get a nice angle in this 6, and he's not got an awful lot of room to manoeuvre here. He has to get nice on this 6 if he's not going to get to the 7. He's got to play a delicate little one. All he should be doing is dropping that 5 in so that the cue ball's here, so he can pot the 6 and run down. And he's okay. He's got the line, just enough room to be able to run through. Well, he's got to make sure he goes higher on this 8 and not stuck to the side rail. Well, that'll do. It's a bit higher than he probably would want, but at least it's the angle that will bring the cue ball back into play. So again, the target is somewhere near that right side pocket. As long as you can get there, you know you've got a shot. And that will do. But Larry needs to string a couple of racks together here to get right back into this match. Meanwhile, Slim marches on against Chimpy. Goes through by 4 racks to 1. So he's hanging on in there. And Larry back to within 2 with the break. 2 balls eventually gone in. Now, did the one go as well? No, the one is on, but it's a dodgy cut. And he needs to come slightly out, back into the table off this, so it's 2 rails and not too far that he hooks himself behind the 9 to be able to play this 3 ball. It needs to bounce. Well, he could drag right into this 3 ball and try and spin around the angles. You've got to drag right into it and play as if you're trying to draw off the 3 and take the pace off the cue ball, and at the same time stun on. Well, I don't know what Larry tried there, but anyway, he's comfortable leaving the bedhead cut. Maybe he didn't think he could get into it enough to play the shot I was talking about. Maybe it wasn't on at all. But he's got to pull this one out, and he's still got the problem with the 6 ball as well as the 5. But he's leaving that problem to Spectre Dawn. There's the 4 balls comfortably off the rail, so there's no problem on potting the 4. And a quick look at the 5, it doesn't go past the 7. That needs to bounce, which it will. But has it bounced far enough? No, it hasn't. I'll tell a lie, he's still got the 4 ball to get. I'm thinking he was on the 5. I'm definitely falling asleep. This is even more difficult because he's dead straight. And he's used the rail to create the angle to get the cue ball running, but running into the 9 hasn't done him any favours. Now, ideally, he wants to hit this 5 ball onto the rail so it hits the 7. But that's not what he wanted to do, because that was always going to happen. He's cut it in behind the 7. He's left it on. But Larry, now if Larry can get the line right, he can get the hit in the 6 and the 7 here, 6 and 8. But he hasn't. In fact, he doesn't need to, because that 6 will cut. Now, this will only go wrong if he ends up jabbing off the 6 or doing something like this. Well, I think he had to be a wee bit more aggressive. Spectre Dawn, I should say. Was it no that guy called Bolsara? Or did he get acquitted? I think his surname was Bolsara. He was the one that was, I think, arrested. So £250,000 for the winner of the Masters. The runner-up gets 100,000. Semi-finalist gets 60,000. So there's a fair few grand up for grabs. Anyway, more important matters are that Larry is 5-2 down. Spectre Dawn has got a couple of balls in the break. He was acquitted, I thought that. So the answer to your question is no. Well, Spectre Dawn has gone all out for the pot. He's going for the kill. He needs to avoid hooking himself behind the 5. And Larry can breathe again, unless Spectre Dawn digs out the jump stick. But he's got to stay in the table. Well, that's news to me, that one. Haven't heard that rumour before. Yeah, he's played that well, but again the cue ball tracking right onto the 4. Oh, that's a nice little kiss. Well, Spectre Dawn is going to be 1 away in a minute. So it's a tall order for Larry now, and I think I'm assuming that One Pocket Slim is waiting on the loser of this match. Oh dear, and the commentator's curse has done it again, and Larry lives again. Spectre Dawn has rattled the 6, and this is an open invitation to survive at least another rack in this match. Did I ever go in Jim will fix it? Why the hell would I be in Jim will fix it? What did I need fixing? Quick look at this bracket, see what is happening here. Oh no, we're well away from that yet. Slim's waiting in the winner of the Houdini Ice Age match. Houdini's 2-1 up. Yeah, we're well away from that. I thought Slim was in the one-loss side final. But anyway, Larry's back to within 2. He's had a ball in the break. The 3 ball is gone. Got a shot in the 1, 2 ball over the side, and should be out. It's only going to be self-inflicted damage again here. Unforced error that's going to prevent him from winning this rack. He's got to get high enough up the table though. Right up the table for this 5 ball. He doesn't want to get cute here. He just wants to get the cue ball running. And anything but straight. He needs an angle. Well, he's going to have to punch this in. It's going to have to be firm because he's got to get that cue ball off the rail and out. And he's got it with a little bit of spin. And again, he's got enough angle. Right, the players are out for the completion of their match, and Barry Hawkins is at the table in frame number 5. As I said earlier, I think Barry Hawkins is due a couple of wins. He's already had 1 win in this tournament, but he said, I mean, this would be a good result for him if he could beat Selby, but you know, Selby's never beaten until he's beaten. He just, even at 3-1 down, he'll grind on until the early hours of the morning if that's what it takes to be able to turn this match around. I'll never see the end of it tonight. I'll see the result tomorrow morning when I get up for work. They'll be showing the rerun on the red button when I get out of bed tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. Well, Larry is now back to within 1. But Larry's break was dry. And again, Spectre Dawn should be out, provided he can get on this 3 ball. And the safest way of doing that would be to draw back to the middle pocket on the right side. Well, he's gone to the left side. And he's managed to hold the line. And now got a good line on the 4. He might have checked that cue ball a bit just to straighten it, to give it a better line, which it ended up getting. And then once again, he must have an angle on this 6 ball. He's got to get this cue ball out. Well, he's gone straight, so that's the only option now is just to draw back off the 6 slightly. But not too much. Well, he's overhit it, but he's actually still okay. That's not where he intended to be, but it'll certainly cut, no problem. Again, the cue ball just ends up running loose. Once again, though, his pace is working perfect. So Spectre Dawn is going to be one away from tonight's final. Where's my mouse went to? There it is. Well, we just got back in time to see a ball drop. The 3 ball has gone. Well, it's an extremely dodgy thin cut in this one if he's going to try and slam that in. Well, again, pocket weight, it gets there, and he's got a shot in the 2. Now he needs to stun this in to miss the 8 ball so that he can get down and actually cut the 4. He needs to miss the 8. And he hasn't picked a line on the 2 ball though. And Larry has his chance. But he's going to have to track the cue ball, avoid the 7 to have a shot in the 4. And the line the cue ball wants to take goes very close to the 7. Well, Larry's tried the big draw, and what happens? He finds a side pocket. Now, he did that for the reasons I mentioned. Had he gone forward to run around, the danger was hitting that 7 ball. So he tried to take that out of the equation with a big draw, and he's found a side pocket. And it looks like Spectre Dawn is going to inflict the coup de grace, as they say. And that was major self-inflicted damage there by Larry, but there was the reasons he did it. Because he wanted to make sure he wasn't running into the 7. Sometimes, you know, you make your mind up and you decide, I'm going to take the risk and hopefully avoid the 7. Or you're going to do what Larry did and try to draw yourself away from the 7. And in the end it backfired. And so Larry is moving over to that 1-loss side to join Slim. And Spectre Dawn is through to yet another Friday night 9-ball final. And now he can go and have a proper break, a cup of coffee or whatever, because he's going to have a little wait until things have sorted themselves out in this 1-loss side. So if we move in to this match that Slim is waiting on, maybe this match is finished and I can't join the room. Oh no. Well, it's about to finish because Ice Age has got ball in hand on the 8 ball. It's a scratch match, so all he needs to do now is just roll this 9 in and not follow it in and do something stupid. So Ice Age is going to have a huge handicap against Slim. It might be 5 and out, and that is tough. I think he'll be getting 5 and out, and Slim's got to be really careful. So we're only on a race to 4 on this one lost side. And Ice Age is in already. I'll have a quick drink. Well, the camera's focusing on Mark Selby because Barry Hawkins has got a 64-point lead. Still stacks of reds in the table, but he's only a couple of reds and colours away from a 4-1 lead against Selby in a race to 6. So, Slim has joined the room, and Slim is at the bottom of the screen. And, well, it's not 5 and out, it's 6 and out, which is still hefty enough for Ice Age. And like I say, Slim has got to be very careful. Well, he's done the first thing, he's won the lag. But the brake is dry, I think. Well, it will be 4-1 anyway. He's on 70 odd now. I'm looking at it in iPlayer. So it's definitely 4-1, and all the reds are now wide open, and he should be clearing the table. Well, Ice Age has, well, he's played the bank on the 3. And he can see the 4. And he needs to get, he's only, I think he's pretty straight in this 4. So he's playing the big draw in hope here. He's ran into the 5. And now he'll be going for the cut down into the bottom left. And he's hung the 5. And Slim has not been left a pot, I don't think. This is very tight. This is extremely dodgy. The thing is, he can't get the short side to come around the corner because he'll scratch. And if he just rolls to it, Ice Age will kick from the side rail to try and knock the 5 in. He's just trying to push it onto the side rail. And I suppose there was not much available to him. Yeah, Eurosport will have it. There'll be a delay on iPlayer certainly, but he's on my screen. He's on 101 at the moment, so he's just trying to clear the last couple of reds. 1 red remaining, and he's definitely 4-1 up. So that's, I mean, Hawkins can only lose this now from 4-1 in front, but I would never write Mark Selby off. And if there's any player that's vulnerable to that sort of situation, it's Barry Hawkins. And he's missed the last red, but that's it. 4-1, he can only lose it. And Slim can only lose this if he can't get good in the 9. Good evening to Irish Brawler, whoever that is. So Slim's doing what's asked of him, because every rack is a threat with a 6 and out against you in a race to 4. Slim cannot afford any mistakes when he's in, because if he leaves anything on at the business end of the rack, he's losing the rack. That's pretty much a guarantee. He's got Nothing in the break, I don't think, has he? 3 balls still spinning. Oh no, he's got the 1 ball and he's plumbing the 2. And this is the perfect situation where things can very easily go wrong. He's got a wide open table, so it's all about controlling that cue ball to get on the next one and get it all done nice and clean. Now the problem, if there's going to be a problem, is getting from the 5 to the 6. There's loads of room in the bottom side. Where the cue ball is now is somewhere he would want to be to play this 6 ball once he pots the 5. And he's got room to get into the gap. It looks like it, from there to go there, and somewhere down here for this 6 ball. And he's following the line perfect. Now, the problem now is he's stuck to the rail. So, in order to get this right, he should be running straight through. Oh, and he's missed the 6. He's taken his eye off it. He was worried about making sure he didn't hook himself behind the 8. And he's left Ice Age the opportunity to pick off this 6 ball to pinch the rack. And he has done. And that's exactly the scenario I've been talking about. You make that one error at the business end, you're losing the rack. And the cue ball has gone in on the break for Ice Age. And Slim, once again, with a wide open table. And every opportunity to take the lead, but can he get there? Now, got to go short rail, side rail and out, like that. And now, just a reasonable line in the 4, so that he can now leave himself a nice little angle in the 5 to bring the cue ball into play, into the table for that 6 into the side. Now you see he's gone straight, and that limits what he can do. He can only come back and out. Now he's got a dilemma. He can drop this in, brush into the 9 if he needs to, and he's avoided it, so he should be home and dry. You've got to just keep your full focus, because you can do daft things like he did in the last rack. Forget about the pot and concentrate on the cue ball, and give his opponent a chance to steal the rack, so he's not going to do it this time. So the error on the break from Ice Age cost him big time there. Scratched the cue ball, and Slim comes in with ball in hand and does everything expected of him. He runs the table to go into the lead, but Slim has come up dry, and this could be a quick 1-8 combo. It's not nowhere near set, but Ice Age may well have a bang at it. Well, he didn't have a bang. He tried a more controlled shot, but it was not easy. But he's got second prize. And Slim gets the hit. Now, has he got enough cover in that one? I don't think he has. I think Ice Age can see enough of it to pot it. But he's actually overcooked it. And I think he's got away with it again. And Slim's going to have to kick and hope. And this time, Slim gets lucky. An easy hit on this one, but if he gets this wrong, he could scratch off the one. Now Slim can just get to the one. He's not really going to be able to do an awful lot with the cue ball unless he tries to slam in and go around the corner. No, he's just trying to drop behind it too. Well, he hasn't really got there. And he'd be better off just... Well, again, that was not a well played shot by Slim. He shouldn't have been hitting that 6 ball there with the 2. Well, Ice Age just needs to get out into the table. Well, that wasn't part of the plan. He's now got himself in trouble. And again, that's now... Well, it's making it easy for Slim. It's giving him ball in hand. Table at his mercy. But this is a wee bit tricky where the 5 ball's sitting. Now the simple shot would be just to roll the 4 in from this side. Roll the 4 in and bring the cue ball out into the table and play the 5 long down that way. Because then you've got all the room in the world to get out onto the 6. Slim looks as if he's trying to draw to the long rail and come out into the table, but if he gets this wrong, he could hook himself. Well, I don't think that was the best idea, because this is very dangerous now. But he's got the cover, which was vital. He can't afford to give Ice Age any sight on these... well, it's not quite the money ball yet, but it's not far off it. And that looked a legal hit to me. Yes, it was. And it's gone safe. Well, pretty safe. Now, what's Slim reverse banking it? No. Oh, this is a bit risky. And he's got away with it. Well, the 5 will go, but you've got to play a cracker to pot that. Well, this is a reverse bank every day of the week. He's getting a little bit of right in the cue ball to bring it off the end rail and back out into the table. And now, well, as excuse me, if he hits the 9, it shouldn't be a problem. He's avoided the 9. And he doesn't want to overcook this. Well, this is all about pace control, because he's potting that 8 ball, cue ball is running that way, and he wants to finish up past that middle pocket, but not too far like that, because he's gone to that no man's land territory. And this is how it's very easy to lose a match like this. He needs to watch the side pocket as well with the cue ball. And he also has to watch the corner pocket. He's got away with it. Dicing with death here, Slim. But he's on the hill. 3-1 up. And it can all change in the blink of an eye. Because I think he's dry. An Ice Age now at the point of no return. He could play the thin cut, he could play the reverse bank. He's gone for the cut, he's missed it, and he's gone safe. Well, Selby's in the he's right in amongst the balls here. So he's looking to get one frame back. Ice Age hooked on the one, easy kick. Oh, how's that 1-9 sitting? It isn't set. Now, there is a shot here, thin off the edge of that one, very thin. We're left English so that when you hit the rail, you send the cue ball that way and try and get into the corner like that. And that's not a bad shot. And I think the three banks, well, it wasn't a bad shot. But Ice Age has immediately got himself in trouble. And Slim now, I don't know how many times Slim's been given this ball in hand to run the table, but this is certainly the second or third that in the match that I can remember. And this is a tricky one, just getting out nice onto this 5 ball. And that's not bad. He's going to be running away from the 6. But the further he runs away from it, the straighter the line becomes in the 6. You know, there's less of an angle, so it makes the pot easier. And once again, he wants anything but straight on this 7 ball. And he's got an angle. Now, he could just run off the side, the short rail with a wee bit of spin and get over to here for the 8 into the side. That's just letting the cue ball take its natural path with maybe a wee bit of help in English. Well, he's checking it the other way to leave it long. And again, I don't know whether that was the right idea because he's making things tough for himself here. This is not the easy way to do it. But he's got the 8 and he's home and dry. So Slim's been battling his way through this one lost side all night, I think. I can't remember when he moved over, but it seems to be he's been there all night. And he marches on. He wins out by 4 racks to 1. And so Larry now has an opponent in the semi-final. And it's going to be one pocket Slim. I think it'll be a scratch match. And the room is up. He'll get in. Maybe Slim will be a minute or so before he arrives. Larry's in already. Of course, it's cutthroat when it's a race to 4, no matter who you're playing. It's just deadly. I mean, it's no sooner than you blink than the next thing you know you're 2-0 down. So here we are. And Slim is in the bottom of the screen. And it looks like Slim is going to win it. Yep. And so we are scratch in a race to 4. Slim with the break. And this to see who is going to play Spectre Dawn in this week's Friday night 9-ball final. Race to 9. Larry just called the push out. Now, that 2-ball is a couple of millimetres off the rail. Oh, Slim looks as if he's aiming for the left side. Now, he could also put Larry back in, but he's now looking at the right side for the cut. Oh, that's a cracking shot. You've got to get those spot on, or it ain't going to hold the rail. That was very well played. Selby with a 56-point lead or something like that. And we got 4 reds along the back, the black ball cushion. So the odds on Barry Hawkins getting back into it are fairly slim the way those balls are lying. Well, again, it's all about just getting nice on this 6-ball so it's easy to come back for the 7. And he's got loads of room. Well, I think he could just play this plain ball. Come down the left side of the 9-ball. Make sure he stays out in the open. Well, he's gone again a wee bit straight in the 8-ball. Just a softish draw over to the right middle pocket. Again, you're trying to just open the angle on that 9-ball, getting to that sort of side of the table, make your pot a lot easier. So Slim off and running. Nine-ball goes in the break. 9-ball will come up. Now where's that 4-ball gone? Because the 1-ball's up there, but the 1-ball will pass the 4. Well, this is just a case of drop that 1-ball in, get the cue ball over for the 2. And he hasn't really got there. He's left that 6 inches short. He wanted to be here. Problem now is he's playing the cut and he's going to finish unless he tweaks the cue ball. Well, he's trying to tweak the cue ball and it made the shot a lot more difficult. But Slim's got away with it. Now, does Larry play the 9 combo bank? He might have a smack at it. It looks a good line. Is he going to risk it? If you play that bank, that 9 might go. No, he didn't risk it. He's looking for cover. But he's given Slim enough room, more than enough room, to jump this and maybe even pot it. The question is will he be close enough to the 3 to have a shot when he plays this? Well, he didn't play the cut. And all he's done is brought the 2 right into play. And this is not easy. But Larry's going to have the deep draw off the 2 and miss the 9-ball. He needs to miss it. Oh, he just skimmed it. And once again, the track this cue ball's taken, he needs to miss the 7. He doesn't want to be running into stuff, but there's an awful lot of traffic down here. He's missing the 7. Now he's hampered by the 7. He's got to get a wee bit of dig in this if he wants to bring the cue ball in the right direction here. Okay, because he can't afford it to run up the right side. And now that's just complicated things slightly. Now again, if you're going to keep it simple, you just pot the 5 and let the cue ball take its natural path, because you'll be on the 6. Now if he's, I don't know whether he's trying to, see, he's got too much angle to really try and do an awful lot with the cue ball, but he looks as if he's trying to draw to the rail. Problem with that is, he can't hold a line for the 6. And that was never going to be on Larry. I don't know what was wrong with just letting it run plain ball and letting the cue ball run around the corner, because he's dug a hole for himself there. And it's all gone pear-shaped. The old hit and hope. Well, Slim might well just take the risk here when he just pots this plain ball. He's going to run into the 7. How he runs into it and how the end result's going to be, he's not really got any idea. But he'll take that. Everything's still in play, and now the big test is getting as straight as he can on this 8 ball. So it's all about weight control here. Trying to just kill the cue ball as straight as he can. And these are tough. You're just going to nurse it down the rail, and that's the danger. And so Larry has got his free gift. Those balls like that, very close to the rail, you either get them perfect or you play them like that, where you punch it to the rail. I'm sure Larry will be relieved. So Larry breaks off in rack number 3, gets a ball in the break, and it's the 1 ball that's gone, and he's plumbing the 2, and the 3's wide open, and Larry should be in front. Let's be honest. All the room in the world to come back into the table. Now he could do it 2 ways. He could go forward and come into the table for the 4, or he could come across that way for the 4. When he's checked the cue ball up to straighten it into the middle of the table. And again, it's all about angles. He's got the angle in the 4 to stun the 4 in and get the cue ball out. Now this should be out behind the 9 for the 6 into the side. He doesn't need to do anything other than just let it run. Well, he's checked it. The problem with that though is he's running away from the 7, so he's got to stun this in as well to come that way. Now this is just a soft draw past the pocket on the left side. He hasn't really got into it enough. Needed a wee bit more juice in that. And he's overcut it. And that's what happens. That needed another 6 inches on that cue ball position there. And it would have made the shot much easier. Well, I'm looking at Hawkins now. He's on the last red. He's trailing by 8 points. He's on the black. I think he's a bit straight in the black though. But he's looking to pinch this frame to go 5-1 up. And meanwhile, Slim has pinched that frame or that rack off Larry. But Larry didn't get good on the 8 ball and paid the price. And he's not got an easy starter either here. Slim's break was dry. Well, he's got the second prize. And so is Slim. He's left Larry no shot. Goodness knows what he's trying here. I'll just wait till Larry plays the shot. Well, Barry Hawkins has stole that frame and he's 1 away from victory. Oh, this is going to be a big result for Barry Hawkins. I'll do his bank balance no harm either if he takes out Selby. But it's a long way back for Selby now. Well, that'll be Barry Hawkins' best win for a good few years. Taking out the world champion and world number 1. Well, Slim, every opportunity here to get himself to the hill. 4 ball comfortably was in the gap between the 5 and 6. This is a little stun punch on the 4. Now, he should be coming back up the table here to get behind this 6. Didn't want to be playing that down the long rail. And this is a tricky one, but again, if he's going to come out into the table this way, he's gone the rails. He needs to miss the 7. And he just brushed it. If he'd missed the 7, he was plump. Now he just has to make sure that he doesn't hook himself behind the 9. And he's well away from that. And just kill the cue ball stone dead where that 8 ball is and drop the 9 into the side. And Slim will be in the final. Well, he's went for the old heave-ho draw into open country, but he didn't really need to do it. But you always take the risk when you start running that cue ball. But he's got a straight in 9. And so Slim is on the hill. And I didn't hear anything go there. And Larry's not got a great invitation to the party with this shot, because if he's going to take any risk here, it's going to be the 1-4 combo. And that's a good shot. Well, that everything now's a must for Larry. Cannot afford an error of any description. Simply has to get the job done. Point of no return. Now, let's have a look. Little stun, in behind in 5 and back out. Again, a little stun. Now this is the important one. Needs the angle on this 7. Well, he can draw off this, no problem. Loads of room. Now anything up towards the middle pocket again, he doesn't want to overhit this, he just wants to get to the middle pocket. Well, he's kind of chickened out there. He could have played it a bit heavier than that. But this to survive for another rack. Back to within 1 with the break. Needs a ball and a shot. There's nothing tracking. And look at where the 1 ball's sitting. Slap bang in the middle of the table. And all the balls are on. And that's Larry probably played his last shot there. Well, where's this going to go wrong? They're all wide open. I suppose the problem shot, where's the cue ball going? Goodness me. The problem shot is going to be from the 7 to the 8. The 8 ball wide open in the middle of the table at the top end, just off the kitchen line. And that's going to be the problem. It all looks so easy. But that's the one shot, well, that's the shot that's also caused a problem because he's drawn straight into the 9. And now he's surely got to play the safety here. Just feather the 5 and run for cover. No, he's going for the reverse bank. Well, I suppose it's not a bad thing that he actually missed it because he had no shot in the 6. And Larry now with a gilt edge opportunity to take this all the way. But Larry's got the same problem now. He's going to have to deal with it with this 7 ball. And how does he get to the 8? And the angle he's got in the 6 wants to take the cue ball out behind the 8. And the problem that Larry has is that he's left himself so far from the 7. He's got an awful lot of work to do to have any sort of shot in this 8. Oh, he's played it well. That is well controlled. Couldn't be any better in this 8 ball. Perfect angle in the 8. In fact, you can just, I think, draw off this 8 and play the 9 on the side. No, he's letting it run, but he has to run far enough. And he has done. So we are going to a final rack decider. And it's Larry with a break to see who is going to face Spectre Dawn in the final. 4 ball goes in, 9 ball goes in, but more importantly, the cue ball has gone. And that's a disaster for Larry. But Slim's got an immediate problem. That 2 ball is in that one of the worst places in the table. And it's not frozen, but it's in no great position. He's got to get this flush. He's got no problem with the 3 ball. So it's all focus on the 2. And it's held the line. Well, this is a little punch shot. Short rail. I know he's playing a draw. Again, that's probably not the best shot in the world. He could have went 2 rails there out into the table for that 6 on the side. But he's managed to squeeze it past the 7. Well, no prizes for guessing what he's going to do here. Just stop it stone dead, roll it into the side. And it's going to be Slim, barring an almighty accident here, that will go through. In the final rack decider, he beats Larry by 4 racks to 3. So here we are, we're just on, right on the button. We are 3 hours into the tournament. And we've got ourselves a final, folks. And it's between One Pocket Slim. Now, when did Slim go over to that one loss side? He must have went over very early. Yeah, he get beat by Chimpy in the second round. So Slim's battled all the way. And he's got his final against Spectre Dawn. And it's a race to 9. And Slim, keen to get underway, he's already in the room. Well, Spectre Dawn. Did he lose to Spectre? I thought he lost to Chimpy. It's too late at night for me to see this. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Aye, so it's a revenge match. Aye, I was looking at that one there. So Slim, in fact, that was a final rack decider as well. So it's a revenge match for Slim. I think Spectre Dawn's fallen asleep. I mean, how long did he have to wait there to get this match? What, 45 minutes? Maybe not far off that. Well, Barry Hawkins has got first chance in the frame that might take him through to the semi-finals. I hope Spectre Dawn's not falling asleep because the clock's ticking. That'd be a disappointment. I'll say that again. That'd be a disappointment for the tournament, wouldn't it? Maybe Spectre Dawn's got the snooker on and he's forgotten to keep an eye on what's happening in the match. Stranger things have happened. Oh, he is awake. And Spectre Dawn is at the bottom of the screen. Slim at the top. Looks a good lag from Slim. And a very good lag from Spectre Dawn. But Spectre Dawn has won it. I don't know what's happening now. My brain's gone to bed about an hour and a half ago. So it's a scratch match, race to 9, and I heard something go in there. And that 3 ball has just squirted past the 1. The 1 goes. And again, a little dinky draw off the 1, just to leave yourself on the 2. Now, the 3 ball is a problem. Now he could cut this and go short rail, side railing out if he gets enough pace in it. He's trying to come down this side. He needs to keep running. The pace is good. That's pretty much perfect, although he's running away from the 4. But he doesn't want to be potting this 4 and clipping the 9. He wants to avoid that at all costs. Well, Barry Hawkins ended up, he's on 22. He's avoided the 9. Oh dear. Oh, he's gone on the short side of the 8. Little tricky cut back. Never a doubt. So it's first blood again for Spectre Dawn. Well, this is going to be one of the quicker Friday night 9 balls, considering that it had a full field tonight. The last one was well over 4 hours, the last one I did. This isn't quite going to get that far, I don't think. But the break from Spectre Dawn was dry. And Slim's immediate problem is where he pots the 2 and how he gets a shot in the 3. Well, he's got the shot. But if he just cuts this in, he's going to run into the 5. He's going to have a tough cut in the 4. And he's trying to play the bank because of that. And now Spectre Dawn just roll the 3 in, and he should be through far enough for that 4. And it should be 2-0. Now it could be a deep draw into this cue ball here. It could go wrong, but it's the one way of holding for the 6 without letting the cue ball run through and running into the 6. He's run into the 7, that's perfect. Now ideally, he would like to be right down on the bottom rail here for this 8 ball. He could do that if he runs forward and lets the cue ball run. If he plays a draw, he's got to get the control right, and that ain't it, I'm afraid. That was his poorest shot tonight, Spectre Dawn. I mean, this will still cut. He's just got to slam it to cut it across into the corner, but the cue ball's running all over the place. And he's gone for it. Well, if my voice can hold up, Slim's got a long road ahead of him here by the look of it. Well, excuse me, hang on a minute. Voice for this. But things are going from bad to worse for Slim. And no sooner have I said that, Spectre Dawn dollies a 4-ball, but gets away with it. He's going to have to play the bank. Well, this match might have to continue without commentary. Because the voice is gone. And it ain't happening for Slim, even at this early stage of the match. He's tried, I think, a couple of banks, hasn't got them. And once again, Spectre Dawn in a really awkward position here, but he'll be going full-blooded for this. Now, can he stun? I don't know whether he can play the shot, but yeah, he's trying to stun to come across to at least have a sight in the 6, and that's an excellent shot. That was a really good shot. It's going to be a tall order for Slim because he's had very slim chances. He's not been in a great position, but he had that cut in the one that he played early on in the rack there and then scratched with the cue ball. And if he's going to pull anything out in this match, he's going to have to do it the hard way. He's trailing 3-0. Eight ball goes in. I suppose over 3 hours commentary doesn't help each week. Even though maybe my commentary voice is gone with that 2-week break. It's showing signs of wear and tear. If you don't use it, you'll lose it, as they say. Now again, the control and the pace in that shot was perfect. Little push through just to come off the short rail into play nicely on the 3. And I don't think Spectre Dawn's in the mood for any free gifts here for Slim. If Slim's going to get anything out of this, whenever he gets a chance, he cannot afford to blow it. He's got to get himself into the match. But that's only if Spectre Dawn allows him. Danger with this is running into the 9 ball. I think he can avoid it. Yeah. Well, it's still a long way to go, but it's a lot longer for Slim than it is for Spectre Dawn, let's put it that way. It's 4-zip. And I think my voice is coming back. 3 ball in the break. Now, problem with this shot is he's just got to dink off the side rail there on the knuckle. And again, played it pretty much perfect. Now, he needs to just control the cue ball again. He doesn't want to come right out into the table and hook himself behind the 7. I think the voice is going again. It's coming and going. And again, he's controlled the pace. Killing all the action in the cue ball. And pretty much got it in a string. Slightly the wrong side of the 5, not a problem. Bit of left-hand English. Well, he needed a wee bit more than that just to fire it over another 6-7 inches. Now checking this with right-hand English to square the cue ball in a line up the table. But all the room in the world to get on the 8, and it's going to be 5-0. And Slim has had a couple of sniffs, but that's about it. He's had nothing else. Well, Slim needs a break one way or another. Whether it's something that Spectre Dawn gives him, or a lucky break, one of the two. But he can't do that as long as Slim keeps potting a ball in the break. He's got the 6 ball. He's got a testy little one into the side pocket, but he's got loads of room to let the cue ball run or drag it off again like that. Well, he's ended up a bit straight. But I'm sure he can either draw back, stun this in, and get out into the table for the 3 into the top left. Now, what's he doing? He's going forward. Again, he's high enough. Now he's dead straight. He might be able to just... Yeah, he just decided to pinch a slight angle, but he's left the bedhead cut. Now, he might want to just drop this into the side, because that way he can run through. Yeah. Again, anything but straight. And that is plumb straight. So he can only go forward or come back here. He's going to... If he comes back, there's 9 balls well off the rail. So you'd expect him to cut this in, no problem. Oh dear, he hasn't picked it. And how's the 9 going to finish? Oh, it's the only place in the table. Slim's not going to have a shot. He's going to have to kick bank this. He's going to have to find a line. Oh, that's unlucky. Well, that was a glimmer of hope for Slim that very quickly extinguished itself. but Spectre Dawn got lucky there. That was the glimmer of hope for Slim, and it's petered out no sooner than it came, and it's 6-0. Just when Slim wanted a bit of luck, he thought he had it, and the 9-ball finishes dead on the short rail, and Slim had no option but to try and kick it in. And meanwhile, Spectre Dawn has given Slim a chance with a dry break. And can Slim find his way out? The 4-ball goes past the 8, no problem. The problem is the cut in the 3. He needs to just dink it in dead weight. Now, little controlled draw shot. Now he might stun past the 6 here, take it up the table. And that's, well, he doesn't want to take too much a risk here. He might just run through and leave the longer 7 into the corner rather than trying anything elaborate. That would be the safest thing to do. Well, he's letting it run. It needs to come out into the table to take it into the opposite corner, but that will do. But again, he's gone a bit straight. It just means he can keep it simple by just running forward and leave himself further away, or he's drawn back. But the straighter these balls are, the simpler it is to get on the next one. So he's just dinking the 8 up the rail. So Slim is going to be off the mark. But is it just a consolation rack for Slim, or is it a start of a big comeback? I'm hoping it's not the latter, because I want to get to bed. No disrespect to Slim, but he has got a ball. Has he got a shot? Well, the answer to that is not really. But the more important thing is what can he do with this 1 ball where he doesn't leave Spectre Dawn a start, because the 2 ball goes and everything else goes. Well, that's a clever little shot. Took the risk. Now, Spectre Dawn might have a bang at this, because he might get a bank. Well, he's, oh goodness me, would you believe it? I think he tried the bank to slam that 4 and try and bank it into the side pocket, and I think he's fluked a 1. I don't know whether he played that. I doubt it very much. But he'll take it. Well, that's a stab in the side there by Spectre Dawn, if ever I've seen it. A blade to the heart. Just when Slim got himself off and running, he plays a little clever safety. And Spectre Dawn kicks the 1 when I think he actually tried to play the 1, whatever it was, the 1-7 combo bank. He got it all wrong, but it all ended up right. Now he's left another bedhead cut here, but he's not missing them. He ain't missing anything. Well, this is the one that can go wrong. It's getting good in the 9. Well, Barry Hawkins looks as if he's going to win this match, and the pace is good. Where's the cue ball going though? Oh well, Slim's been given his lifeline. And Barry Hawkins has got, what, a 20, whatever it is, lead. He's on the black. And he's on the this match is over. Hawkins is going to go through. It's all but over. Well, Slim breaks off in rack number 9. And I think the 1 ball eventually dropped. He's got a little dink in the 2. But how does he get onto the 3? Oh, he needs to hold that line. He's running too far. That's just gone a wee bit further than he would like. Now, does he just drop it in plain ball? Leave the 4 into the side? Nope, he's letting it run. And he's hung the 3. He should have just dropped it in. You know, there was nothing to stop him dropping the 3 in, letting the cue ball come through for the 4 into the side. Because if he had the angle, he could have come across for the 5. What the hell's happened there? Spectre Dawn missed the 3 completely. Yep, I don't think he went down to the pocket to have a look. And Slim has been handed another lifeline. Good evening to Mooncake. You're a bit late to the party. I'm heading to bed in 5 minutes, or whenever this finishes. But that's a big mistake by Spectre Dawn. Because I don't think he went down to the pocket to have a look at that to see how deep in the pocket the 3 ball was. And I think he tried to use a bit of rail to get the cue ball out, and he missed it completely. And these are the sort of gifts that have been few and far between from Spectre Dawn that Slim needs to stay in this match. And Barry Hawkins has gone through. That's a cracking result for him. 6 frames to 1 against the world champion. You cannot ask for a better result than that. You'll be well chuffed with that. I'm just going to tab out to shut the iPlayer down. We'll give this one to Slim. So Slim is back to within 3. Breaks off in rack number 10, and I heard something go in, and he's going to have a shot in the 1. And the problem ball is going to be from the 3 to the 4. That's the one that's going to scupper his chances of running this rack, is how he gets on the 4 ball. Now you could see that if he gets low enough this side on the 4, it goes past the 7 and 8, no problem. But how does Slim get there? That's not going to get there, I'm afraid. And he's got himself in a proper hole here. Now, can he get a feather edge? No, he can't even get that. He's going to have to do the old kick and hope. Oh, he'll take that. He will take that. And Slim might be getting a run of the ball that will help him survive. But not if Spectre Dawn can do things like that and leave him no shot. Now, is he going for the bank? Yeah, he hasn't. I don't think he's picked a bank tonight at all, which is unusual for Slim. But once again, he's got the run of the ball. And this match might not be over. But again, Spectre Dawn has got away with it. He's got the hit. He's left Slim nothing. And Slim is having to kick and hope again. And how's his luck this time? Oh, the 4's got in. Well, I think everything's happening now. And this is a crucial ball. This is the one that's going to sit beside the rack. If he gets a 6, he should be home and dry, but it's not easy. And he's got the 6. And he just a little firm stunt. Get the cue ball, missing the 8 ball. Well, now the scoreboard looks a wee bit brighter for Slim. What was he? He's 6-0 down, wasn't he? It's now back to 6-4. Needs a ball and a shot again, and he's got a ball. Now how's his luck? Oh, it's not good. That 7 and 3 ball just shut like a prison cell door and blocked off the shot to the 1. So it's going to have to be the long jump. You need to keep the angle of the cue lower. And he's did everything there but pot the 1. And he's not got lucky this time. Inspector Don has his opportunity to stop the Slim comeback for the time being. Well, the simple thing is roll the 1 in and finish on the top side of the 2 to roll the 2 into the side and get yourself onto the 3. He's gone over in between the gap. Again, he's played it perfect. No problem in getting on the 3 now. Well, again, he could have ended up a bit straighter in this. It just means he's having to do a wee bit more with the cue ball. Now he might keep this simple again and just drop the 4 in, come off the side railing out and leave the long cut in the 6. There's loads of room though to get better on this 6 ball. But that's where it's going to be. The bedhead cut. Pace looks good on this cue ball. And it's going to be 7-4. Well, the angle's there. Stun the 8 in, bring the cue ball along the short rail, leave the long 9 up the table. And it's most certainly going to be 7-4. Well, we've now gone past the 3.5 hour mark for the tournament. My brain's been in bed for 90 minutes. My voice has gone and come back. And meanwhile, in rack number 12, Spectre Dawn has got a ball, and it's the 8 ball that's gone. He's got a shot on the 1, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, the 1 goes. The problem is he's not got a shot in the 2. Unless he drops down to try and play the 2-6 combo. And that's where it's going to be. The problem with that though is he doesn't know where the 2 ball is going to finish. It's going to come up the table somewhere. The question is then is whether he'll have an actual sight and a shot on it. He doesn't look as if he's, well, if he was playing it, I don't think he picked anywhere near the right line. It was nowhere near easy. Slim won't be caring about that. He's back at the table with a chance that he simply has to put away. Well, it's going to have to be a little dinky cut on the 3. Loads of room to still have a shot in the 4, but that ain't it, I'm afraid. If he was going to play that shot to get in the 4, he needed to hit it a lot harder to come back out. And I think there's signs of wear and tear here for Slim. It's been 3.5 hours for both of these guys. But it's going to be one that's got away, I think. And in about 40 seconds time, Spectre Dawn should be on the hill. Well, this will be straight onto the side rail and back out and not scratching the side for the 9 into this bottom corner. And Slim's comeback is all gone. He's now at the point of no return. And he may well already have played his last shot. Spectre Dawn is breaking off. And again, ball in the break. And he's going to be on the 1 ball. Couple of balls have gone. This match might be over. Although the 3 ball is the issue. And that 3 ball, well, there's no way he's playing that 3 ball. It doesn't go. It obviously goes from the short side. So that's the only lifeline that Slim has got in this match. And Spectre Dawn is looking to come down the narrow side, I would assume, onto this 3 ball. And again, the pace isn't all that bad. He could have done with another 6 or 7 inches. The problem now is he's running off that 5 ball. But as long as he goes forward with top in the cue ball, which is really all he can do anyway, he should be running into the table for some sort of sight on the 4. But it can all still go wrong. But if he does the right thing and goes forward, which he has no option, the cue ball has to be in play one way or another. Well, it's another testy one. 5 ball over the pocket. This 4 ball goes in. It's another Friday night 9 ball for Spectre Dawn. But he did everything, and look what he's done though. He's left this 5 ball pushed onto the rail. And Slim, although he's got the 4, has got a 5 ball that is almost frozen to the rail. And he's still got to get back for the 9. And that's what happens. He's trying to push it through to get the cue ball running. And these pockets don't give you anything. Well, this is difficult for the distance. And if you get too much spin on it going forward, you'll just keep the cue ball up the top end of the table. So it's the big draw. Where's the cue ball finishing? Well, it's in every day of the week. Little stunt to make sure the cue ball stays in the centre of the table, doesn't get near a pocket. And it's Friday night 9 ball again this week for Spectre Dawn. He beats Slim by 9 racks to 4. And with that, guys, it's a short and sweet thank you for watching. I'll bid you good night. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. And I'm off to bed because I'm up at 4 AM again.